And that's what happens when you do a Facebook Live for the first time on your phone. I hope people decide to join in again. I am again going to invite my sister to join us. But if you missed everything that I just said, because apparently I hit the wrong button, thank you for giving me your attention. We're going to be doing these Facebook Lives every week at 5:30, and now I know not to hit the button on the right because it closes the whole damn thing. So, as with everything we do for the first time, we are not perfect. So, um, give me just a moment. I realize now what I did wrong. Um, so, as I was saying before, I'm inviting my sister to join us today, and my sister actually works with me. She's my assistant. I'm super to have her, happy to have her on. Hello.
We did it.
We did it. So it's funny because there's this little button in the bottom right of the phone, and when it said you were joining, it was above the finish button.
Yeah.
So I just tapped it, and I
Yeah.
ended the whole damn thing.
There you go.
But I was
We're
able
here.
to actually go back in and turn it back on. So that's great.
Perfect.
So I was just telling people that you're my sister, and I invited you to join me today, and that you're my assistant. And what I was saying before I hit the finish button before on the last video, which I did not save, is that you've been helping me run the company for a few months now. And I quite honestly could not do it without you at this point.
Thank
I give
you.
you so many things that I need to get taken off my plate so I can do other things. But Felicia has not just been an assistant, she's actually turned into a really important part of the support system that we offer for the clients at Statement Fitness. So thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
And it's also made us closer as brother and sister, which is kind of an unintended consequence of working together, and was a
Yeah.
warning that I got from people
Yeah.
as well. A couple of people were like, be careful working with your family.
Yeah.
And I totally understand that warning, but we have been absolutely fortunate enough that we really haven't had any problems. Everything's
Knock
worked
on
out
wood.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's
No,
knock on
things
wood.
have gone really well.
Well, I think it's because we're both really invested in
Yeah.
this, and I'm actually kind of surprised at how invested you have been in this. It's not only impressive, but I appreciate it a lot because this means a lot to me.
Well,
And
it's a wonderful community. So I feel lucky
yeah,
to be a part of it. You've created something really great.
well, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm not fishing for compliments, but I will take the fish home and eat it for
There
sure.
you go.
So yeah, so we're gonna do these every week at 5:30, and eventually I'm gonna turn this into a podcast. So this is just kind of like getting our feet wet for the podcast that I have planned coming up. But I wanted to start out with something today, and it's really kind of apropos. Um, the topic of today's Facebook Live, and it's funny that I paused when I said that because my head just started pounding again. The topic is working out when you have an anxiety spike, right? And the reason
Yep.
it's apropos today is because last week my husband and I were on cruise and we got the flu and it has not gone away. And today my head is absolutely pounding like crazy. I feel like shit right now. But I didn't want to cancel this because it's the first time that I scheduled it, and that just would not be a good look. And the topic today is about doing something when you don't feel like doing it,
Yep.
right? So it's kind of the same thing. I know I'm not at the gym working out right now with anxiety, but I'm doing a Facebook Live when I have the flu and my head is pounding.
Mm,
And I'm really happy to do it. So don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining in the least bit, but I'm just saying how this really actually all ties in together today. So, before we get started on that topic, I want to just tell everybody that I am a fitness coach and I know how to stay in my lane. So, the topics that we're going to talk about today, we're not going to be on for too long. I just want to cover a couple things that help me when I'm working out with anxiety because I know that sometimes I want to give up, especially when I get to the gym. Sometimes I turn around and feel like walking right back out. But before we start, I do want to say that I am not a doctor. I cannot diagnose or treat anxiety or depression or any type of mental disorder. But that doesn't mean that we can't have open and honest conversations about the way that we're feeling and the things that we do to get through the tough times that we all experience when we do struggle with anxiety and depression. I know that you have some struggles with that yourself, you
yep.
know.
I
Yeah,
sure do.
and I know that you don't mind me sharing things,
Not at
right?
all.
Yeah.
No, I'm an open book.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the things that it might be a family trait, and I think people in our family are an open book
Some
whether they
DNA
want.
running through there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and sometimes we don't want some people in our family to be open books, and they are. But that being said, Yeah, we are both now on medication for anxiety or depression or
Yeah.
other things. And I just recently was diagnosed with um, generalized anxiety disorder. And it took me a really long time to go to the psychiatrist. I didn't want to take that step. Did all these other things, and some of the things we're going to talk about today help, but they didn't get me to where I needed to be.
Yeah.
So, for me personally, I need to be on medication. I think it has a lot to do with past trauma in my life. We're not going to get too deep into that today. But you got to do what you got to do. So I'm very happy that I took that step, and you did as well, right?
I did. Yeah. Mine was a little bit different. I think mine was a little situational. I was only on medication for a little
Mm.
while. But the type of medication I'm on, I'm able to stop and start whenever I want. It's a very low dose. But yeah, going through some overwhelming changes in my life required me to ask for help. And my doctor was like, it can be forever, it can be temporary, it can be whatever you need. Just you're in tune with your body and you need something. So there you go. And that's kind of how I took it. I know it was a little bit harder for you, a little more of a challenge for you to
Mm.
take that step, but for me it was just a necessary stepping stool that I needed at the moment. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good point too, because everybody's experience with it is different.
totally.
I didn't want to admit that I needed medication, but now that I have it, I feel better. I'm not perfect by any means. I still have
Yeah.
generalized anxiety disorder. I have, the break the glass pill is what my psychiatrist calls it, in addition to the Wellbutrin that I'm on. But yeah, I'm going to try something, and I've been looking into one of the reasons I wanted to use Facebook Live was because you can ask questions. So if I can't figure it out, then I can't figure it out. But I
Um,
think it's
I
at the
think
bottom of the screen here, because I want to ask anybody who's watching. You know what? I'm just going to ask it out loud now, and I'll figure this out
there's
later
a
because I don't
comment
know this.
link on mine. I can type it into the comment. Is that what you want?
No, no, no. No, it was something else that I was exploring before. But anyway,
Oh,
so
okay.
the question that I'm going to ask for anybody that's watching or anybody that watches after, and if you want to drop it in the comments, is do you give up on your workouts when you have an anxiety spike? Right? Because I know that I have in the past. And I've really struggled to find ways to make sure that I don't give up when I have anxiety spikes. Because when I have anxiety, I'm sorry, I want to lay down and go to sleep. And
Yeah.
people that don't have this type of anxiety disorder or don't struggle with anxiety as much as I do don't understand. They think that it's the opposite, right?
And it can
Because
be.
it can be, right?
Yeah.
Your amygdala is firing, so they think that
Yeah.
you have all this energy and you want to just, do all these things or stay awake, or you're like panicked.
Yeah.
I go the opposite direction. I just want to lay down.
Yeah.
I want to shut my eyes. I want to go to sleep. My body wants to just kind of
Mhm.
rest, and get itself out of this excited state that it's in.
Mhm.
So anyway, that'll prevent me from going to the
Mhm.
gym. So that's why I wanted to talk about that today in our first Facebook Live. So I've got 3 things that we're going to run through real quick. How to get to the gym when you're feeling anxious, what modifications you can make to your workout when you have
That's
anxiety,
huge.
because I
Yeah.
think that's important. And then also how to create a comfortable environment. Actually, there's 4 things. We're going to talk about what we'll do after the workout as well, to make you feel good about all the decisions you made. So I know personally when I have anxiety, or even if you don't have anxiety, guys, this can apply to you as well. Like getting to the gym, sometimes you
Yeah.
just don't want to go, right?
Sometimes you have a stressful day or a bad night of sleep, or yeah, there's so many factors that
So
could lead
what?
to anxiety also. You know?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then not going to the gym gives me more anxiety because
100%.
then I get in my head like, oh shit, I didn't do my
Hmm.
workout today. I'm failing, right?
Yep.
So one of the things that I do is have an accountability buddy, and I'm very lucky that my accountability buddy lives in my house. My husband is a super gym fanatic, so that's one of the reasons that we connected in the first place. But he allows me to, just kind of push. He pushes me, right, to do the gym, and then sometimes I don't think he even realizes it because if I know he's going to go when he's done with work, I'm like, okay, I have to go today. You
Hmm.
know, what about yourself? Have you ever tried anything like that before?
Yeah. Well, and I think that those are the best type of accountability buddies, by the way. The people who sort of don't hold you accountable, but they
Mm.
do. You know what I'm saying? So like if you say, okay, we are going to go to the gym at 5 p.m. tonight, and then both of you are like, I don't know if I feel like doing that. I had a rough day. It's easier to quit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like those are the best type of accountability buddies that are like kind of doing it side by side, but not really sure. Um, I actually am a workout from home type of person, as you know.
Mm.
So I I've always been really good at driving myself to get myself there, but I feel like I kind of have those parallel accountability buddies, either that I've spoken to that day or talked to, or if I'm going to go to a class, then it's just the environment around me, obviously, holds me accountable.
Yeah.
Um, but I've always kind of been an individual solo person at the workouts.
Yeah. I was
Running and
gonna
stuff is different.
I was gonna say home workouts as well. That's one of the things that the suggestions I was gonna make, because sometimes when you don't want to go to the gym, part of the anxiety is the social anxiety.
Being around other people,
And when you
yeah.
feel that way, you don't want to be around other people that don't feel that way, to be quite
Right.
honest.
And especially getting there because you don't feel so good before you work out. And then after you work out, you have that, endorphin rise and you feel good. So then after the fact, I'm like, oh, who wants to hang out? Who wants to do something? But getting there when you're in that lull, I prefer to get out of it by myself. And then I'm almost a little more proud of myself because I'm like, you
Yeah.
did that, you know?
Yeah, and you don't even need to do the workout that was planned. I mean, you can do
Right.
yoga, you can do body weight stuff, you can go on YouTube and just find a hit class,
Yeah.
jump some shit out.
Yeah.
If you're the opposite of me, where you need to get the energy out, just do some hit stuff, jump around.
Yeah.
Um, you're gonna feel better because you did something. It doesn't have to be what was planned.
Sure.
The other thing that I like to do is set up a reward for myself when I'm done.
Oh,
So
that's good. Yeah.
maybe schedule a massage right before I go to the gym, so that when I'm
I like that.
finished, I can go to the massage either right
Yeah.
at the gym, or if you have a home massage person that comes by, good for you.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
plan to sit in the sauna if you don't normally sit in the sauna.
Hmm.
Plan to take a bath when you're done. I get
Yep.
pretty bored in baths myself. Uh, I can only last for a few minutes, but or you can even do something a little more extreme, like have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And I joke when I say that's extreme, because it is absolutely okay to
Yeah.
reward yourself with things like alcohol, as long as you don't have an issue with it and you don't go
Right.
overboard and drink like 2 bottles, right? But
Right.
just knowing, like, okay, when I'm done with my workout, I'm gonna get some endorphins out. That's gonna make me feel better, and then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna have a glass of wine with dinner tonight as
Hmm.
a reward because I did it. So there's
Sorry,
nothing
guys.
wrong. That's
Or
okay.
making a healthy dinner to me, like the reward. I apologize.
That's fine.
Mailman, he's protecting everybody. So sorry. Okay.
We are
Um,
absolutely dog people as well.
we are
So if
very
you're a
live.
dog person,
Apologize.
let us know.
Yeah. Do you have a dog who thinks the mailman is also trying to kill you? Because mine does every day, every single day. It's the same mailman, and yet we're still alive. We're all still here. Um,
But assassins.
yeah,
I don't know if you've ever seen Eddie the Izzard.
yeah. Yeah,
Assassins.
assassins. Yeah, the UPS man, the mailman, they're all in that same line of work. But no, what I was saying is the reward could be to like cook yourself a beautiful, healthy dinner. To me,
Yeah,
sometimes just
that's
looking at a
good
colorful
too.
plate of food is like you made it over the hump, and now you're just focusing on good things for yourself, which might
Yeah.
include a glass of wine.
And there's nothing, actually, there have been studies that have shown that a glass of red wine at the end of the day is not bad for you. It can have,
Yeah.
some positive effects. The other thing I wanted to talk about too, so let's continue to move on, is modifications to your workout when you're feeling anxious. And this is probably my main solution for when I am really struggling with anxiety. I don't know how many people saw a post I did a couple months ago when I was basically having almost an anxiety attack at the gym, and I decided to post about it because I wanted to share it, because I know that other people struggle, and that was one of the times I actually had to leave the gym. But before I did, one of the techniques that I used was just modifying the workouts.
Yeah.
I lightened my weights, just kind of reduce the intensity a little bit, because just nothing in me had the motivation to like do the normal like 4x4 deadlifts that I was doing that day. I made the workout a little bit shorter. I was only there for like 20 minutes. I had planned to be there for like a little over an hour. And in between each of my sets, I did, meditation breathing, like I would normally do when I do my 5 or 10 minute meditations in the morning. Another thing that you can do that a lot of people don't think of is just choose quiet hours at the gym if you have that
Yeah.
available, right? I'm lucky enough that I work from home.
Yeah.
So I can go to the gym whenever I want, and it's right here in my complex. I know that some people don't have that option because you have to
Mhm.
go after work and it's busy. But if you have the ability to choose quiet hours, it leads into what we were talking about before, right?
Yeah.
Where instead of staying home, you can go to the gym because
Yeah.
there's not a lot of people around. So
Yeah, exactly.
do you have any ideas for modifications for anxiety while you're at the gym? Anything that you've tried before?
While I'm in the middle of a workout, I tend to like if you're taking a class time, they'll say modifications, or if you want to level up, do this. I'm a level upper. So,
Ah,
if they're like jump squat, then I'm gonna jump squat. I'm not just gonna squat. I will take the modify. I'll be like, okay. I also think that working out is meant to, make you feel good and have all of these positive benefits on your body and your mind and everything. And if you're not feeling it because of anxiety, then it's just going to have the exact opposite if you don't make a modification. So, like, sometimes I'll just stop and maybe I'll turn in like a yoga or a stretch or like a low impact Pilates. I find that if I go too hard when I feel super stressed or full of anxiety, it's a wash. Like my workout doesn't even matter because I'm extra spiked. I'm not,
yeah.
my workouts relax me. They calm me. They give me energy. They do all of that. And if I'm full of anxiety and I try to go too hard, then it's like it's oil and
Well,
water.
think about this, and I notice this a lot, is that uh, when I'm doing a workout and I have
Yeah.
anxiety, in between the workout with the elevated heart rate that you have from doing a set, I'm doing quite different workouts than you most of the
You
time.
are. Yeah.
I'm lifting heavy. I do strength training, powerlifting, things like that. And in between, the heart rate continues to rise because
Hmm.
the sets are a little shorter. It's not like HIIT training where the heart rate's up and then it stays up or it starts to come down in between sets. It's quite the opposite sometimes.
Yeah.
And when my brain feels the heart rate going up, the amygdala starts to overreact even more,
Yep.
and it mistakes the high heart rate from the workout
For
for more
anxiety.
anxiety. So
Yeah.
it actually gets worse.
Exactly.
Which is why for
Exactly.
me, when I'm lifting weights, lightening the weights works a little bit different. So yeah,
You
I
put your
mean,
heart rate down a little bit. Yeah. Yep.
so it's different for everybody.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
Another thing I really like doing, is music,
Hmm.
choosing the right music, because I really like really hard, like Berlin techno music
Yes,
when
you
I'm
do.
working out.
Yeah.
Um, and if I'm having anxiety, that does the same thing to my heart
Yep.
rate. Gets it
Yeah.
like
It's aggressive.
jumping. So
Yeah.
I'll throw on like something softer. To me, house music is softer. It might not be the same way to other people.
Yeah.
Um, but what are some other ideas that you have for creating a comfortable environment?
I mean, I think I can't work out without music, so I
Mm.
definitely agree with the music situation. I don't know, this might be a girl thing, but if I put on a good outfit, I automatically feel better too. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's a personal thing, but if I put on like my favorite pants or tank top or something that just makes me feel good, it puts my mind like, okay, we're headed in the right direction. I don't know, that might be silly, but
It's not silly at all because if I feel sexy, then I'm not as anxious,
yeah,
and I'm not.
I don't
I
know.
if
Yeah.
my pants don't fit right or my shirt doesn't fit right, I don't want to go out in public.
Or like
That's
if
me.
I'm working out at home, I don't have to, you don't always have to put on like a matching set. You could put on whatever sports bra, whatever anything, but if you like, it's sort of like getting ready for work in the morning. You get your water bottle, you get your cute outfit, you turn on the right music, whether you're going out or you're staying home. I think that it all helps set the mood, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. And also staying hydrated too. I just want to throw that in there real quick before we move on
Mhm.
because staying hydrated it is really important regardless of how you're feeling.
Yeah.
But staying hydrated means with water. If you
Mhm.
have too much caffeine or stimulants before you work out, again, it's going to spike your heart rate.
Yep.
And if you're struggling with anxiety or maybe it can mistake that for, you know, higher anxiety levels.
Sure.
Yeah, I was just noticing something. It's really funny. I think because I'm not sure, but I saw there was a couple other people on. I think we have one person watching. If Lewis is there, hi
Hi,
Lewis.
Lewis.
Um,
It did.
but there were a few other people on before, and then when I ended it, they're not on anymore. So I
Yeah.
maybe They gave up.
They
That's
did
fine.
they did say that they were coming. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're like
it's just funny. I wanted to point that out, so I'll try not to fuck it up next time.
they're like that was the shortest live ever.
Right?
Oh
Um,
well.
yeah. So anyway, that being said, these are always going to replay on the page.
Yeah.
So hopefully, they help somebody. That's all we're really trying to do here is have a
Sure.
conversation and help people. The last thing I want to cover before we jump off is after the workout.
Hmm.
It doesn't always have to be about the workout itself. And this kind of loops back around to giving yourself a reward, but
Yep.
also like just having the idea in your head that there's going to be something that follows can get you off the couch to the gym and through your workout when you're
Yeah.
having a really bad anxiety spike. Um, like I said before, sauna, steam room, hot bath, those are the things that I like to do
Mhm.
after a workout to just kind of help my body relax, but I also feel really good. I like the heat as well.
Yeah.
So those things fit right into my desires to live in Miami.
Yeah.
Moving back to New York, by the way, but we can talk about that on another time. Um, but yeah, any other ideas for self care after the workout?
I mean, I'm obviously, as everybody or Lewis just heard, I my dog. After workouts, I tend to go for a long walk with Finley. For me, that's my dog's name. That is the like come down for me. Plus, it's an added bonus. I'm still moving my body, and living in San Diego, I try to get outside as much as possible. So specifically, if it's afternoon or early morning, just feel like the fresh air. Whether because if you're inside a gym or you're inside your house or whatever, I there's nothing like doing something outside in the fresh air. So for me walking him is another reward. And then, yeah, usually I'll reward myself with like a big jug of water. And like I said,
Nice.
I like to make a healthy meal,
I
to
was
me,
gonna say your
colorful.
rewards are really
My
healthy. Not everybody's gonna
rewards
reward
are
this.
healthy. I know everyone's like, womp. But I
Right.
don't know, there's just something really, and maybe it's me with, my previous issues with food and stuff. We all have our battles and struggles in our fitness journeys. And for me, making like beautiful, colorful food is just like, I don't know, it just makes me happy. And I feel really lucky that I have access to all that food, like it just, you feel good about what you're putting in your body.
Yeah.
So that reduces my anxiety on so many levels.
If you don't have a dog, get a dog because that's how you increase your steps every day. And quite honestly, if
So
you
true.
increase your steps, you are going to have a better fitness result because just getting extra steps every day is a great low impact cardio movement, and
Well,
it's
and that goes
very
into what you said.
undervalued. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're feeling anxious and you can't get to the gym, go for a walk.
Go for a
And like
walk. You're
it
still exercising.
really just, yeah, you're exercising and it just does so much,
Runners aren't
especially
going
if the
to like
sun is
hearing
out.
this, but it's much better for your body than
It
running as far as
is.
impact is concerned.
It is. Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
So low impact cardiovascular activities like walking, just getting in your steps, trying to get to 10,000. If you're only at like 2,000, by the way, don't try to get to 10,000 tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, to get it up to like 2 or 3 if you have like a way to measure it, like with a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, and then just increase it week over week, right? But you want to aim for at least 10,000 steps a day eventually. All right. If you're
Yeah.
not quite there yet, don't worry. Just add a little bit at a time. Just like if you're adding weight at a gym, it's the same thing.
Or if you work from
Um,
home like you do and I do part-time, just stand up and walk around every now and then. Like
yeah.
even just getting up and moving around for a minute or two is like it just does a lot, when you're sitting down, you're stagnant and just getting movement and sunshine. Uh, if you're in a place where it's not snowy and cold right now, but try to get
Which
outside, bundle up.
I will be
It
next December.
still feels good to get outside even if it's cold. Just
Hmm.
put a hat on.
You're hearing this from, again, people are like, want. You guys are in Miami and San Diego, right? Uh,
But we did live in Connecticut. We both grew up there, so we get it.
in the mid-June, I think, is when I'm moving back to New York City. So I'll be struggling with anybody in cold weather again.
He'll probably have
All right.
more tips
Yeah,
for getting to the gym
seriously.
with anxiety.
All right. I really appreciate you joining me on this today. You can join me whenever you like on these. I really enjoyed having someone to talk to rather than just, people listening to me speak. This
Yeah.
is nice. The last thing I want to say here is that, we only have one person on right now. And again, I think that's just totally my fault. I fucked it up by ending it. I did click on the, you joined through the invite again, right? Like you just went right back into the same live?
I went into the same live, and then on the bottom left corner, there's like two little
Yeah, yeah,
boxes
yeah.
next that overlap, and you click on that
That's
and
fine.
ask
I mean,
to
yeah, I
join.
don't, I'm only going to invite guests to join on video. Everybody else can just comment. I just wanted to make sure that the same invite was still active, even though I ended it.
Yeah,
It
on your
was,
page,
right?
it just says that you're live, and then you click on it,
Okay,
and you're watching it.
awesome.
Yep.
Good. All right, then maybe I didn't
So
fuck it up too bad. So,
no, yeah.
anybody that's watching this, tell me, what topics would you like to see in future Facebook Lives? Because quite honestly, we're doing this for everybody in the group. So if there is something that you're struggling with, if there's something you want information on, has to do with, mental health, again, not as a doctor, from just a point of view of someone who struggles with mental health issues, in relationship to their fitness routine or their lifestyle,
Hmm.
anything to do with lifestyle, um, nutrition or workouts, please drop it in the comments if you're watching this or you watch it on the replay, because I want to make sure that we're talking about stuff that you guys are interested in. You can also suggest times for me. So it's either going to be 5:30 or 7 p.m. I'm going to do it at 5:30 again next week because we did have 6 people respond that they were going to be here
Hmm.
today. Let's see what happens. But I'm going to play around with the times a little bit. So this might change a little bit from top to bottom over the next couple of weeks until we get our feet wet and figure out our routine. But other than that, I think this was a really good first discussion. Thank you very much.
Oh, no, thank you for. I would love to come as often as possible.
Okay, cool. We're
Nice
going to
to
have other
chat with
guest
people.
speakers on as
Yeah,
well. I
yeah,
used to do these in the past, and I
yeah.
had a friend of mine on, Tara,
Yoga instructor,
and
right?
another yoga instructor too,
Mhm.
actually.
Yeah,
So we might have them back on now that we've relaunched this series.
yeah.
But just stay tuned. We're going to have some professionals on here that will offer even more insight than we can, or different insight than we do
Yeah.
on all of these topics as well. All right.
All right.
All right. Felicia, thank you. Lewis, thanks for watching.
Have a good one.
We're going to
Bye.
do 5:30 p.m. next week. So hopefully I'll see you
Okay.
guys there. I'll send an invite to everybody in the group. You guys have a good night.